The fighting won't let up anytime soon. If it gets too much for you, you can lean on me.
Thank you. I should count myself lucky to have so many friends looking out for me. Oh, Professor. Sorry. I know I'm not one of your students. I just wanted to see how it felt.
I don't mind. It's what most everyone called me, after all.
Before you were a professor, you were a mercenary? What do mercenaries do?
They're fighting forces for hire. We went to war for nations without belonging to them, so our allies in one battle might be our enemies in the next.
Though with enough motive, that could happen anyway. Thanks for the lesson, Professor.
You want to speak about Veyle? Okay, but why with me?
The word is that you are a good listener, especially when someone is troubled. Professor, how do you relax? I force myself to sit for nearly 2 minutes, but it does not help.
You can't force yourself to relax. But know that your friends worry if you overwork yourself.
Lady Veyle told me to get a hobby.
That's a good idea. Having a hobby helps you relax.
With no room in life for pleasures until now, it is a difficult task to choose one for myself.
Perhaps Veyle could help you in your search. She will enjoy it too.
Now that I'm here with everyone, I just feel so happy. Though, I probably shouldn't let myself.
You should let yourself. You're our ally now, Veyle. You have every right to your happiness. You look like you're keeping very busy, Veyle. What are you doing?
I want to make myself as useful as I can. So, I've been doing little errands for everyone. I love spicy food. Did you have any especially spicy dishes in your world, Professor?
Oh, yes. Super spicy fish dongo was a dish known for scorching your entire mouth.
That sounds super yummy. I hope you'll teach me how to make it sometime.
I'd be glad to. It will take all our fortitude, but we shall face this fiery feast together.
So, we've got a good haul of fish to work with. Should we grill, fry, stew? What do you think?
How about we make super spicy fish dongo? My students loved it. Could be to your liking.
Going from mercenary to professor must have been tough. Ever worry about getting too soft?
Actually, having students look up to you is quite motivating. Made me train even harder.
Royal Knight was the dream, but after the war, I'll need to find a new way to grow my strength.
You'd throw away your dream like that? Why?
If I stick around for peacetime, I'll get rusty. Won't be any good to my king then, will I?
Always looking one step ahead. You're a warrior through and through, Saphir. I respect that.
I'm a scholar, but not a professor. You have more experience in matters of mentorship.
I think you could be a good professor. I started as a mercenary, and I managed it somehow.
Indulge me, Professor. I'm researching novel uses for magic, but I've been coming up short.
How about magic to create blessed jelly? Let me see if I can remember the recipe. We get more reluctant to try things as we grow older. That's what impresses me about you.
Well, one never knows until one tries.
You're not scared that you might fail?
What is failure, really? Discovering which methods don't work is a success in itself.
You haven't complimented me once today, Byleth. There's no need to hold back, you know.
I'll keep that in mind. Thanks. That was quite a dramatic sigh. What's wrong?
Merely lamenting that my talent is impossible for most to fathom. The curse of greatness. My village is famous for its hot springs.
That sounds great. We had a sauna back at the academy. We used to relax in it after training.
Sharing a sauna with your students? Were you not worried about being too familiar with them?
Oh, no. I was pretty informal with my students, but I always kept a respectful distance, too.
I wish you taught at the academy in Elusia. Class with you would be fun, Professor.
I mostly told a lot of stories. No reason I can't tell those to you here, if you're interested. Are you okay, Rosato? You're staring at me.
I've been waiting for your expression to change. Even once. You're incredibly stoic, you know.
That's quite a bit of shopping you've done. Did you buy everything they had?
Nearly. There were too many cute outfits and accessories. I can't be expected to resist. If I hadn't bought them all now, I would have had to go back for them later. Why take 2 trips?
Of course. Very efficient. Seedal, what are you doing here? The War Council is about to begin.
The stars insist my destiny is to remain on this spot all day. I'll catch up on council news later. Why, among all that I eat, must savory food hold such sway? It throws off my dance steps.
I think the solution lies in being swayed, and working that into those dance steps of yours.
You're in excellent shape, Byleth. You'd look good dressed in dancing attire like mine.
As it happens, I've taught classes in a similar outfit.
Really? That's fantastic. What did the students think? They must have been very impressed.
Yes, the reaction was quite positive. Or at least, I thought so.
I have heard that you were once a great lover of tea. What would you discuss at tea time?
Let's see. Things we were thankful for. Our crushes, gripes about everything. The usual. You seem to be in a good mood. What's the occasion?
The bird I've been watching came and landed on my shoulder. What an unexpected joy. Would you mind having a look at this, Byleth? I intended it as a gift for you.
A flower? But why?
Since you can't drink your favorite teas, I thought that this peony might help soothe you.
That's very thoughtful, Saline. Thank you. It's a beautiful flower.
I did all that training so I could fight for my country, but it doesn't feel great that I have to.
Then let's move swiftly and end the war, so that we can all put our blades down for good.
Ugh. ready to call it a day if you are.
You seem to never get tired of training. Is there no end to your stamina? Alfred, you look like you have something to say.
I wondered if you also had a tough time building muscle. Probably runs in the family, right?
Actually, my father was rather burly.
What? So one day you might be too? Boy, do I envy you. If that happens, show me.
Allies should always work to understand each other. What's most important to you, Citrine?
I suppose I care about my allies the most. You care just as strongly for your students, right? I'd love to hear one of your lessons, Professor. I think I'll pay for a lecture hall to be built here.
Just for one of my lectures? What's wrong with the buildings we already have?
Everyone just loved your lecture, Professor. Would you consider giving another sometime?
Another lecture? I wouldn't mind, but...
Oh, of course! Increased attendance calls for a proper school. I'll begin the preparations now.
An entire school just for my lectures? That's a bit much. But I trust you'll do it right, Citrine.
I made up a song for you, Byleth. Here goes. Byleth is the best. I'm so happy we met.
That is a very distinctive melody.
Choir was a thing at your school, right? Because I've got this new song I'd love to run by you.
Oh, I am far from an expert on music, I assure you.
If you could do anything, what would it be? And don't say fight for peace. Be creative.
I've never really thought about it. But now that I am, I think I'd very much enjoy traveling about with you, Tamara.
Aw, Byleth, what a sweet thing to say. I'd love to take you to see all my favorite places.
Your moves are very cool, Professor. Of course, my moves are nothing to scoff at either.
Huh, is that so? I'll be sure to take a closer look next time I have a chance.
I want to be a great knight. You taught at the Officers' Academy. Tell me, what's your advice?
What I can tell you is this. All the knights I've known were steadfast to their very core. You seem to be enjoying that book, Marin. What is it about?
It's an encyclopedia of rare critters. I absolutely adore learning about them.
You know, I once pulled a legendary fish called the Goddess Messenger from a shimmering lake.
Legendary fish? Goddess Messenger? That sounds amazing! I must hear the whole story.
I found a wooden sword. Is it yours, Panette?
I think not. Someone as dignified as myself would never wield such a crude weapon. Now then, Byleth, today we will once more set about eradicating those vile bandits.
Happy to help, Panette. I find your enthusiasm for the work quite infectious.
Tell me, Byleth, how do you know a true lady when you see one?
Well, I believe that a lady is someone who glows from within.
What a curious thing to say. How would one go about glowing from within, do you think?
Inner beauty always finds its way to the surface. I dare say, Panette, you are a perfect example.
You're a hard one to pin down, aren't you, Byleth? A bit of a mystery, you might say.
So I've been told. Though I can't say that I find myself to be anything but quite normal.
Tell me more about yourself, Byleth. I want to get to know you. The real you.
I thought we were close already. But tell me what you'd like to know. I have nothing to hide.
I think I finally get you, Byleth. You're a free-spirited sort is all.
This may be the first time I've ever been called that. What makes you say so?
Well, you're not beholden to others, and you treat everyone as equals. I like that about you.
I think I understand. As it happens, I like those very same things about you, Fugato.
You once lived in a monastery, right? What would you say to having a prayer together?
I'm unfamiliar with the manner in which you worship here, but I'm willing to give it a try.
I love to dance. But when I do, my friends call it the dance of darkness, and not in a nice way.
Well, I do have some dance experience. I'd be happy to give you some lessons if you'd like.
Folks turn to the church when they're troubled. But sometimes, I don't know how to help them.
I see. Pandreo, sometimes just listening to a person is the help they truly need.
That's really wise, Professor. Would it be okay if I talk to you about my troubles sometimes?
Of course. Talk to me anytime. And I hope I can turn to you for advice as well, Pandreo.
So there was a dining hall at the school in your world. I'm intrigued to hear about the cuisine.
I hate to disappoint you, but the fare wasn't what you'd call a culinary achievement.
I've heard you know how to cook, Byleth. Could you teach me some recipes from your world?
I'd be glad to. But first things first, we must find out if the same ingredients exist here.
Thanks to you and your recipe, the meal was a success and everyone is satisfied.
Excellent. I'm glad I could help.
Everyone but me, that is. I must learn more dishes from your world. Teach me, Professor.
How could I possibly say no? I'll teach you as many recipes as you like, Bune. Has something happened, Ivy? You seem a little out of sorts.
I was thinking of my father, that's all. However much thought I give my father now, no good can possibly come of it.
I disagree. It can help you come to terms with the loss, and you will always have his memory.
You've lost your father as well, have you not?
Yes. And it wasn't until after he was gone that I realized how irreplaceable he was to me. But that realization made me appreciate others in my life, to cherish them while I have them.
I respect that. I only hope I can muster the same strength to overcome and move on.
Odd of you to want to speak to me, Professor. I'm afraid I am preoccupied at the moment.
Of course. I'm sorry to disturb you.
Battle provides an intense feeling of purpose. When it is over, I often feel lost.
It's okay to wander aimlessly sometimes. You never know what opportunities might find you.
You are a popular teacher. I presume you are skilled at communicating with children.
I never thought much about being popular with my students. I just tried to understand them.
Understand them? Yes, of course. Such a simple idea. I will keep it in mind. Thank you.
Remember that even teachers, for all their good intentions, can be intimidating.
Byleth, why did you abandon mercenary life for teaching? Did you not enjoy your freedom?
Of course, but I wouldn't have met my students if I'd remained a mercenary. I have no regrets.
I am happy to say that our bond of friendship has become intensely strong, Byleth.
I'm glad we're friends, but that's a rather intense choice of words, don't you think?
I will tell you my secret. As one with whom I share such close bonds, you deserve to know.
You're being unexpectedly serious. What is it?
I have inherited powers of foresight from my mother. I can tell you exactly what is for dinner.
I guess I can see how that would be useful. But doesn't it ruin the surprise?
You were a mercenary before you began to teach, right? You seem accustomed to battle.
Do I? I guess I'm not very aware of how I come across on the battlefield.
Tell me, Professor, do you have any proven methods for instilling confidence in someone?
Earnest praise delivered often. When they do something well, make sure they know it.
War is built on hatred. That hatred bears new tragedies of its own. There is no reason for it.
I'm surprised to hear you speak like this. I had assumed you were always hungry for battle.
I do think a strong military is important, but only if it serves the common citizens.
I agree. Wars offer little to gain and much to lose. You'll make an excellent king, Diamant.
Professor? Anything I can do for you?
Oh, no. I just came to see if you were someone I knew once.
There's gotta be something I can do to make people buy more stuff. Any ideas, Professor?
Maybe you could make some of your goods limited time offers. That might entice buyers.
Survey time! What products do you most wish I would stock?
I used to love fishing on my days off, so I guess I'd like it if you sold rods and bait.
Great suggestion! Although it's sad to know you don't have a use for them yourself.
I'm not too upset about it. It would make me happy just to see people have fun fishing.
I'm not one to talk, but I've noticed that you often wear the same expression, even in battle.
I've been told people have a hard time reading my emotions. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Are you okay, Jade? You look a bit weary. Let me know if you need to rest for a while.
Thanks, but I'm fine. Just worked a bit late last night. Surprised you could read that on my face. By the way, I write novels. I know it's an odd hobby for someone like me.
I don't think it's odd at all. I know there's a complex person under all that armor, but I am curious to know what kinds of stories you write. May I read some of them?
Of course, Professor. Huh. I saw you smile. We'll see if I can get a full laugh out of you next.
Jeez, you're mysterious, Professor. Not even my sharp eyes can get a read on you.
My father used to say the same.
So you went from mercenary to professor? That's a huge career change.
It's not the most dramatic leap I've seen. A colleague of mine was once a songstress.
This academy of yours sounds pretty neat. What did you teach your students?
Most of the lessons at the Officers' Academy centered around strategy and martial skills. It wasn't all about classes, though. There were lots of other activities. Choir, fishing, cooking.
That sounds amazing! I'd love a school like that. Sign me up! How do I apply?
Hello, Amber. I heard you coming. You're an easy man to track.
Aw, thanks. It's great to know that I stand out in a crowd, even when I'm not doing anything. You were a professor at the Officers' Academy, right? Can you teach me how to win any battle?
That's hard to summarize, but it requires both heightened skill and broadened collaboration.
Your sword is so cool, Professor. It turns into a whip, right? Can I see how it works?
I don't see why not. Stand back.
Huh?
How was that?
Whoa! I take it back. That sword isn't cool. It's super cool. Can you make it do a loop?
That was a pretty good loop. I think I'm enjoying this. Any more requests? You handled that last battle well, Alchrist.
Are you saying that I'm not challenging myself enough? I'll work much harder next time.
You seem worried about something, Alchrist. If you'd like to talk about it, I'm here to listen.
I'm writing a letter of self-introduction, but I'm running out of ways to say worthless burden. When I pass on, I'll be an obscure footnote in history with no accomplishments to my name.
Many people do pass on without making their mark, but I doubt that will be your case.
You really think I'll achieve something? My skills are so lacking. What good could I possibly do?
My students taught me that everyone finds their own path. I know you'll find yours too, Alchrist. You eat your meals with such enthusiasm, Lapis. Tell me, do you have a favorite food?
Let's see. I've always been a big fan of taters. They're nutritious and filling. And Brodia, if you've got what it takes, even a country bumpkin can end up as a royal retainer.
So many people feel burdened by their origins. It's good that Brodia offers equal opportunities.
Thanks for always lending an ear, Professor. I guess those rumors about you are true.
Rumors? What rumors?
That you're a really good listener. Talking to you always makes people feel better.
It does. Really? That would explain why people keep confiding in me.
Professor! I'm so excited you're here and on our side. I've been dying to shake your hand.
I would very much like to, but a friendly wave will have to do.
trying to help out, I swear, but I messed everything up.
It's all right. Turn your failures into learning experiences, and they won't be failures at all.
You're so nice, Professor. I bet your students loved having a teacher like you.
I enjoyed being a teacher, but it's fair to say my students taught me many things as well, just like you, Fram. You've taught me a lot, and for that, I'm very grateful.
Oh, you're making me blush. I feel like I should be the one thanking you.
You seem to be in a good mood, Jean.
Yeah. A soldier I'd been treating for some time finally recovered. I was so worried about him. Professor, could you teach me how to fight? I'd like to be more useful, even if just a little bit.
If that's what you want, then sure. I'll give you lessons. We'll start with self-defense.
What do you think, Professor? Am I a good enough fighter yet?
It's good that you want to do your part, but you should look after yourself first.
I know that. I really do. But I see all that's happening, and I can't help myself.
You know, follow your instincts, Jean. I'll watch out for you. You always seem so busy, Vander.
There is much to do, and I find it easiest on the mind to dispense with all my tasks at once.
Vander, can I help you with anything?
Nay, leave the random chores to this old man. You have young soldiers to teach, Professor.
You work too hard, Vander. Can't you delegate some of your duties?
I've performed my day's work since I was a lad. It's not at all a burden worth delegating. Still, I do appreciate your concern, nevertheless.
I see. Well, please don't overextend yourself. We need you on the battlefield, not in the infirmary. Clan, do you need anything? I felt you staring at me for some time.
Nope, I'm just admiring you, Professor. Wait, Professor? You noticed me?
Clan, would you mind telling me about yourself? I know next to nothing.
I know more about the Divine Dragon, but okay. What do you want to hear? You never smile or anything, so it's hard to tell how you feel. But it turns out you're really nice.
What did I do that gave you that impression?
You always look out for me, say hello, and treat me like we're equals. It makes me happy.
I am pleased you feel that way, and I hope we can continue working together.
Sorry, can we chat later? I've really got to focus on my muscle training right now.
Didn't I see you doing that earlier today? Your zeal reminds me of my students. I've said it before, but your and Alfred's mania for training reminds me of my students.
They got to spar with you, I bet. Talk about a prime teaching opportunity.
Are you having dinner again? But didn't everyone just eat together?
You have to eat right along with your exercise, or you'll lose muscle mass. If anything happened to my abs after I spent so long on them, I'd probably cry.
That makes sense. It's very thorough of you. There you are, Boucheron. Alfred's been calling for you.
Ah, thanks. One moment though. Can you direct me to where exactly he is?
You must be back from your workout if you're that sweaty. You always do give it your all.
If only. I've actually been lost all night, wandering around trying to find my room.
I see you fish as well, huh? There's something I haven't done in too long.
You're into fishing too? Oh, perfect! You can come out to the lake with me next time. Unless it'll be boring for you to just watch.
Not at all. I'm looking forward to it. Sorry for making you wait on me, Louis. But you are pretty helpful.
There's no need to apologize. Waiting on people is what I do best.
What's this? A sachet of black tea. It smells nice.
I had it specifically made for you. You can at least enjoy the scent, if not the taste. I saw you watching our chef with no small fascination. Are you a cook yourself?
Yes, I used to like cooking quite a bit.
A professor who cooks, eh? Now that's an intriguing prospect.
Are you okay, Louis? Did we lose you?
This must all be a lot to take in. If you have any questions, you can always ask me.
That's very kind of you, Chloe. I'll do my best to return the favor however I can.
I'm interested in fairy tales from your world. Would you mind sharing some with me?
I don't know that many, but how about Lug and the Maiden of Wind?
Did your world have its own rare folk foods?
Folk foods? Let me think. I had Rocky Burdock a few times.
Wow, what a name! It sounds pretty tough, though. Was it hard to eat?
I admit that it was. But it was good medicine, and eating it always filled me with strength.
I don't get it, Professor. I abused your power. How can you pretend like that never happened?
I'm not pretending. I just don't see any reason to chastise someone who already feels remorse.
I hate that I fought against everyone here. But the worst thought is... what if I had won?
There's no use worrying about what could have been. It's in the past now. Look to the future.
You know, Professor, you're nothing like any teacher I've ever had.
I used to get that all the time. Probably because I started teaching at such a young age.
That's not what I mean. I think it's because we're close friends. I feel... seen. Listened to.
Good. Because you are. I'm happy to listen to you anytime you like, Hortensia.